that we're actually going to talk about, so I wanted to actually learn a little bit about that as well. It seems like for some reason, small businesses are getting hit quite a bit with those robocalls, telemarketing calls.
Correct.
Correct. I was actually reading right before we went to our RSA, convention. I was actually looking at some numbers from MIT. They do research on behalf of small businesses, and they're saying that on average, small business spends 48 minutes per day for what they call a junk calls.
Wow.
So that was kind of interesting to me. Actually works in our advantage, but we'll get to it. Let me go ahead and start with that. So we started out in 2008. We are a provider of voice over IP services. We're a hosted voice over IP services. What it means to you that we don't have any PBX boxes or any kind of layouts in your stores. We don't come out and install it for you. If you need to add the extension, we don't come out and punch the wires in there for you. We don't do any of those things. Everything can be actually solved over the internet in basically in 5 minutes call. If you need to add the extension, if you need to take the extension out, the system has over 150 different features and functionalities that you cannot get from your local telephone company. And those functionalities also provide you with a certain way of running your business more efficiently. On top of that, every customer, and I'm just gonna go ahead and talk in general, so you will know what to offer to your customers as well. So I might use some of you guys as an examples here, simply because just to give you a live example. So the other thing, every customer gets, so to us, the line is very different from a local telephone company. To us, the line is what we call a call path, okay? So every customer that gets an call path, right? Every customer that gets a phone from us, okay? Every customer gets 2 lines. So you're never busy. So if you're talking on a line, on one line, the other customer can actually go ahead and call you in, and they're not gonna, you're gonna see the customers calling. They can stay on hold. They can leave a message. They can go through the automated system, and so on and so forth. Okay. We are providing you with a number of features. Those features can be charged by you to your customers, or you can actually go ahead and provide those features to your customers without any extra charges. We're giving those features to you. As our customers, you will be getting those features as well. So we've been around for 9 years now. We are actually not a reseller. We're actually a provider. That means that means a lot. And the reason I am mentioning that, because usually resellers, the way things work with the resellers is a little bit different. For instance, somebody like Cox Cable or Comcast, or they're, in a sense, they are a reseller. So there's such thing in a system that is called compression rate. Compression rate is basically, you can imagine that internet is like a big pipe, and the information goes through that pipe. Okay, so you can take a small part of that pipe or a bigger part, which will slow down your internet or not. Our compression rate is 7 to 11 kilobytes. Usually resellers have a compression rate of 64 kilobytes. So we're almost 7 times less. Okay.
Oh,
that means that.
Okay.
Oh, that means that for us, for instance, for a lot of voice over IP companies, you need to have like a 5 Mbps and up in order for them to work well on your system. We'll require only 1 Mbps and up. Okay, to be safe, to be on the safe side. So this is basically a list of our clients that we have right now. As you can see, I mean, you see the big names, but the truth of the matter is, all of those are franchisees. They're all small locations, and that's what we're specializing in. Okay. For instance, the average location for any lab test now, by the way, would have to be HIPAA certified in order to service them. but average location for any lab test now has 3 phones. Okay. The same is for, well, Century 21 is usually a little bit bigger. Real estate companies' offices are usually a little bigger. But as you can see, the majority of them are basically would be kind of a smaller locations, but we have a lot of them. And that's because that's what we specialize in. All right. So go ahead and skip all this. We do understand the business, and we do understand that you guys are actually facing the certain financial constraints. We do understand that the margins are getting slimmer and slimmer, and sometimes business gets a little flat. That's why we actually came out with this program, because we can help you to increase your business and make residual income. What residual income means to you, that every single month you have to make sales over and over again in order for you to make money. With us, with this, you can make a sale once, and you can actually have the business of this customer and money coming back from that particular customer every single month for 24 months or 36 months, depending how, depending on the contract. Okay. So that always helps. And, it adds up. So today, let's say what we call seat, that's the phone. Today you sold, let's say, 2 seats. Tomorrow you sold another 2 seats, already 4. So you sold maybe only 4 seats this month, but next month you sold another 4 seats. So it adds up to those 4 seats, and now you're getting paid for 8 seats every single month. So always a benefit on that one, obviously.
So when the customers sign up, so they have to sign up for a contract. It's not, month to month, or you have offered that option as well.
No, it's a business service. Business service is not a residential service. Business service always goes with the contract. Okay. You can actually take a look at it and see what it is, but I can tell you.
Oh no, just curious.
We're not
this contract. Yeah. And then with contract comes, of course, they have to pay for 12, 24, 36 months. And then, of course, what happens if they break the contract, what the penalties would be. Those, I'm sure it's something covered, like we do with, most of everything else we have, like credit card companies and all that stuff as well.
Let me put it this way, okay? Let's say you close a customer, and customer's paying every single month $100, okay? Right. He's got a contract. And let's say within a year and a half, he goes out of business. Do you really think that any company in their right mind will go after that company simply because of that? Probably not.
Yeah.
No, probably not.
No, not because they're going out of business, but a competitor comes in and says, hey, you're paying 100, I'll get you for 50. And then you get a call, hey, I'm terminating this because I'm moving with, of course, we try to save the business. But, that's just some, question like what. So there may be penalties, but I'm pretty sure when there's contract, if they break it.
People don't like breaking contracts, especially businesses. When the individual does that, that's a little different from, Yeah. So basically what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to show you some of those things that we actually discussed here, and base it on the stories that you guys told me about your stores and so on and so forth. So what I wanted to show you, as I mentioned to you before, every one of you, when you get a service with us, let's say you have one phone, which is, to us, it means one extension. With that extension, you're also getting different functions and functionalities. And on top of that, you will also have an access to this particular portal, okay? This portal is very intuitive, very user-friendly, but let me show you what this portal does to you. First of all, what we're looking at is actually, it's just a home page. And by the way, I did want to mention to you that everything that we're talking about, and I'm going to go through only a few things. I'm not going to go through the whole portal because it's going to take the whole day. So I'm just going to spend maybe 20 minutes on the whole thing here. But everything that we're talking about, you can actually go in here, and every single thing, how to set it up, how to do it, we have in black and white here, okay? But this is a home, what we call a home. It's basically the place where you go and you can create shortcuts for certain things that interest, that you go to every single time, and so on and so forth. It's customizable. You can move it around. You can add whatever you need to add. As you can see here on the left-hand side, There's mailboxes that you can access to immediately, and so on and so forth. The other thing that I wanted to actually show you, by the way, it is an open platform. So if you guys are using any kind of CRM or so on and so forth, we can actually make it work together. Okay. So this is a voicemail. There's 3 ways for you to access the voicemail. We believe in a voicemail to email. The reason we do that, again, MIT has shown that if you respond to your customer within 15 minutes after him leaving a voicemail, your customer retention rate goes up by 391%. Imagine the number. So if you're waiting for a customer to reply to him tomorrow morning, if he left you a message after 6 o'clock, and you don't even know the message is there, you come back to work and you call him next morning, which is always a really good thing. But if you can call the customer within first 15 minutes, your retention rate goes up by 391%. It's ridiculous, in my opinion. So we are strong believers in a voicemail getting to you as soon as possible. So there's 3 ways to retrieve your voicemail. You can actually retrieve it from your phone. You can retrieve it from the system. You can, listen to it right here, or we will go ahead and send it to your email. It comes to you as a transcript as well as the MP3 file, and you will be able to listen on your phone what it is and call the customer immediately. We also have a system that we can set up in here that every time you receive a voicemail, it will text you and let you know that you have a voicemail. So you can actually go into your email and actually check that voicemail and listen to it or read it, because it's going to be transcribed. So that's one of the things, and as you can see, it's all stamped. You know who the voicemail came from, what time, what date, how, and you can see it in here. You can delete it from here, or you can delete it from your phone. That's how it usually works. So this is kind of a small tab. It's called application tab. What we actually put in here, if there are any applications that are kind of communicating with each other, as I mentioned to you before, we are an open source system. So if you have any kind of a CRM system or so on and so forth that you're using in your business, we can actually have them talk to each other here, and you will be able to actually see it here. Now, there's one plugin right here that I wanted to show you. Any of you can have it. So if, let's say, you are calling the customers back, and you will be able, and I have it right here on top of my browser, if you can see. So you will be able to dial the number directly from your computer. The way it works, it actually, you click on the number, and I'll show you a little later how you do it. You click on the number, it rings into your phone, you push the number answer, and basically the call is placed. That's how it works. Very easy.
So the phone, like the phone we have, or should we have like a headset and the thingy attached? So
no, it's just regular phone.
Regular phone.
Just regular phone.
That's neat.
Yeah. You saw the number. Let's say you're doing a research. You saw the number in the browser on Google. You click on that number, and it will dial into your phone. That's what it does.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. So services. Remember we talked about the PBX boxes. PBX box is something that you might have in the back of your room right now. So if something goes wrong with the PBX box, you have to call the guy in. You have to pay for that call. There is no such maintenance required in here. This is what you're looking at right now. This is your PBX box. Very easy. Okay. And I will just go through a few things in here real fast in the PBX box. So as I mentioned to you, you can dial directly from here. And here's the link. You just hit the call, and it'll call into your phone. Okay? So, but what I wanted to actually show you is basically how easy it is. So those are the numbers. As you can understand, this is just a demo account. But those are the numbers that we have in here. And you can actually customize those numbers for yourself. So let's say, this is the number. You can actually go ahead and put a state on that number. You want to tell this number what your caller ID should read. So right now it's PCS Inc. So if I call from that number, you will see PCS Inc. on your caller ID. But if you want to change that to, let's say, mail store, okay? All you have to do, just hit save, and in 3 seconds it's going to take effect. So now, from this, if I call from this particular number, it's going to say mail store. That's how easy it is.
Got it.
You don't have to call the company. This is an internal presentation. It is a very important feature if you have multiple locations. For instance, I have customers that I have one person answers the phones for multiple locations. So let's say we, so let's say somebody's calling that number. You're located in, I don't know, in Boston, Massachusetts, but your main office is in somewhere in Connecticut. And you can actually go ahead and put Boston in here. And when the customer dials this number, it will ring in Boston, in Connecticut, but the person who is answering the phone will see on the caller ID that this call is actually dedicated to Boston. So when they answer the phone,
besides the customized name, if someone's caller ID now, they show the telephone number, of course. So it'll show a local Boston number, or it'll show Connecticut.
Yeah,
number.
You can actually, let's say the customer is calling to a Boston office, but you're located in Connecticut, right? So you have the number for a Boston office, and you have the number for
Boston
Connecticut.
Number. I got it.
So
I got it. Okay.
You will receive it in Connecticut, but it will say that somebody's calling for a Boston number, and you can pick up the phone and say, welcome to mailbox in Boston. Yeah, and they won't know the difference. Okay.
No, that's
so call routing. There's the amount of call routing in here and how you can route the calls is unbelievable. There's literally you can route the calls anywhere you want during the holiday. If the holiday, you can route the calls to yourself, to your house, to another locations, route to certain group. I mean, there's literally a number of things that you can do. To a conference call, you can do it all if you wish to do so. A hold music, which is very important for this particular number, you want to set up a certain hold music. Hold music is something that can be used by you guys for your own advertising. We call it the hold music, but it doesn't have to be a music. You can send us a file with 10 megabytes, 10 megabytes file, and we can actually go ahead and put it there, and we will go ahead and put it there for you, and you will have your advertising, playing over and over again when the customer is on the call. Okay. So screen privacy, you can screen it or you don't have to. It's up to you. So this is but this number, that's what represents your business from outside. This is not what represents your business inside. We are not attached to a number. When we're actually giving you a line, we're not attached to a number at all. This number can be transferred anywhere you want. It can ring in 20 offices at the same time. It can ring on one phone. It can ring on 20 phones. It doesn't matter. It's all a matter of settings. What
our
dedicates
current phone numbers, do they transfer?
Yeah, we can transfer them for you. We can transfer them for you.
Okay, does that cost more?
I'm sorry. You know what? It seems like I'm actually doing all of this, and I cannot, and I'm not sharing my screen, and I apologize for that. I put it on hold and I forgot to turn it back on. So, do you see the new screen right here?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. That's the part, and this is the home that we talked about. This is a little thing that we were talking about there, where you can actually dial directly from your browser. And I apologize. I did all of this and didn't even realize that I was not sharing my screen. It was still on the first screen. So my fault. Definitely my fault. This is one of my colleagues who is actually on the webinar listening in. She just walked in and she told me about it. It's very embarrassing. So this is the voicemail that we talked about. I'm just going to go ahead and click on it because we already talked about it, but at least you'll be able to see it. Okay? It's stamped all over the place. You can listen from here. You can listen from the phone, or you can listen on your email that comes to your phone or to your email address at home. Applications, we already went through it. And here we're on services right now. We just talked about the phone numbers, but as I said, the phone number is what defines you from the outside. That's what the customer sees. They see your phone number. What your actual extensions are is that's what defines you inside. And that's something that I wanted to talk to you about right now, which is much more important than anything you can imagine, at least on our system.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So
Norman, the question here was on the number porting, how much the charge would be if we have one main line, two other lines, so we port it to this one, so it's a one-time charge or something. I mean,
it's a $25 per line, one-time fee.
Got it.
Just to charge, just to
I have a question of something you talked about earlier with contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Say, for instance, sold something to a yard company, and they after it was a 3-year contract, and after 18 months they went out of business. Is there a fee that then can negate that contract, and then they wouldn't have even the risk of being sued?
Well, that's that's always a risk with any bigger company. If you have a large company but the truth of the matter is, if they're going out of business, who are we going to ask for money?
Well, no,
but
the thing is, say they're, well, let's give it another example. Say that at 18 months they've decided that they don't like our service and they want their wife to answer their phone at home. And so they're going to go back to more traditional and use their home phone for their business phone. Is there a fee they can pay to get out of the rest of their contract?
Well, it's usually just like with anybody. It is they will have to pay the remainder of the contract. Okay. But it's always based on the situation, what's going on in that. Okay, so maybe we can actually go ahead and take those phones. Maybe we can actually go ahead and cut those phones in a half, or on 2/3, and transfer those phones. As long as we can actually keep the service at least in some shape or form. Maybe we're not going to go after them. I mean. But the truth of the matter is that we're always try to work with the customer. Nobody wants those situations, no doubts about it. And if,
but like with my Sprint account, if I choose to leave early, there is a fee I can pay, which is a percentage of something or another. I don't know how they figure it out, and I pay that, and I'm out of it with no other obligations. Do we have something of that nature?
There is no such thing in our contract. However, as I mentioned to you before. First of all, you as a customer yourself, as a distributor, you're not being charged for anything, so you don't have to worry about that at all, because we're doing the billing. Everything is on us.
I'm just trying to
for them
think what my customers might ask me.
You have different options there. You have a 1-year contract option. You have 2-year contract options. You have a 3-year contract options. Now, it also depends. Let's say if we're giving them a free equipment, they will sign a 3-year contract because we have to recoup that cost somehow. It takes us a year, 18 months to recoup the cost before we actually make the money. I mean, in any shape or form, it doesn't concern you. But us, when we're giving them the equipment or giving them a substantial discount on the equipment, we have to recoup that cost. So it would be, and obviously it would be in your interest as well to sign a contract with those guys for 36 months. Now, they do have the option. They do have the option to go for 1-year contract, to go for 2-year contract, and to go for 3-year contract. And we're going to go over it as well. Okay. So if they want a smaller contract, just like with anything else, if they want a smaller contract, they're going to be charged just a little bit more. They will have the better chance of actually ending that contract within 12 months. Very simple. Okay. If they sign a 3-year contract, yes, there is a fee for the remainder of the contract. And the reason there is a fee, if we're providing them, usually 3-year contract means that they're actually getting the equipment from us. If we're giving them the equipment that's costing us money, obviously we have to recoup that cost.
That's reasonable.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Sure.
And that's how it usually works as well. But let me get back to the extension list. So if you go to inside the extension itself and look at it, so this is the number that this particular extension, this number rings into this particular extension. It gives you E911 location here. Anything can be changed. It actually shows you how many seconds to ring. So 25 seconds means 5 rings. There's 1 ring every 5 seconds. If you want to, that it'll ring 6 rings on your phone, that's all you do. You hit save, it's done. This will show you that this is working. As you can see, it's registered, it's green. The system actually detects that as a green, as a working phone. So again, you can forward this extension in many, many different ways. Right now, the call forwarding off, you can actually turn it on, and you can actually go ahead and forward it to an outside number. Let's say your extension rings, you didn't pick up the phone, you can actually go ahead and set up a number where you want to transfer it. Very, very easy. You hit save, it's done. Okay. Do not disturb. You can put it on and off. The way actually this one works is actually very interesting. You can actually go ahead and call, try the phone number first. It'll go to this extension. It'll ring 5 times. If it's busy, it'll go to the outside number. See, if busy, outside number, and it actually tells you what the outside number. If the outside number is not transferred, it'll go back to the mailbox on your system. You can just leave it, and it will go into mailbox on your cell phone. But if you don't want, if you want to separate the business messages from your personal messages, you can ask the system to go ahead and finish the call on your cell phone and transfer the caller back into your mailbox at your office. And it will go into your mailbox at your office. This feature is probably one of the most important features and one of the most interesting features that you might have with any system. We actually spend a lot of money specifically for that. We have a redundancy system, not on the phone number level, but on the extension level for each and every extension you have in your office, or for all the extensions at the same time. It's up to you, but you set up each an extension. The way it works is very simple. So the system detects that this particular phone is now red, which means something happened. Either your internet is not working, or you have a power outage, or you have both. You never know what can happen. So your customers will never know that your system is off. What's going to happen at that point, it'll call into a cloud. Well, I call it a cloud. You understand, there is no real cloud. It's just a particular system, a server. And at that point, you can pick yourself where you wanted the call to be transferred. So now you wanted the call to be transferred at that cell phone number. All you have to do, just save it once, click save. The change will take effect within 3 seconds, and you can just leave it here. So here's what's going to happen. When the system comes back on, everything is going to go ahead and go back into the settings that were on this system before. The offline feature will turn off, and your system is going to work the same way as it did before. You don't have to touch it anymore. So you don't have to touch it anymore. If there is another outage, it's going to detect that this phone is red now, and it's going to go back to this offline option. Make sense?
Okay.
Yes, that's nice.
So, yeah, it is very, very nice. The customers will be calling you on your office number, and they will never know that your store is not working. They will never know. So this is a voicemail, and that's how you can record the voicemail from here. You can record it from your phone. You can record it. You can record the busy message if you're busy. You can record just your name. Or if you want to have some kind of a special voicemail that you have on your box, you can create a file, which is very easy to do. Any Windows-based computer has a software built to it. It's called voice recording. You can record a 10 megabytes file, select it here, and upload this file into your voicemail from your computer. Okay? So this is one of the features here. So this is an extension. The other thing we talked about, here's the mailboxes. So this is actually, as you can see, there's a mailbox right here. You can create new standard mailbox. You can create a new broadcast mailbox, and you can add it voice to text. Okay, so time frames, very important. This is something that you can actually literally put your voice system on an autopilot. You can create the time frames where your system is going to work a certain way between, let's say, 8 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And after 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it will work completely differently. So from 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you're going to have an auto attendant, a special auto attendant that's going to work. So when customer calls in and says, welcome to mailbox store, for directions, press 1. To find out about the status of your shipment, press 2. If you want to talk to a live person, press 3. Or you can, and once they press 3, another mailbox can come on and say, hey, if you speak English, press 1. If you speak Spanish, press 2. And then it will transfer to an appropriate person if you need to. Okay, but after 5 o'clock, from 5 o'clock in the afternoon until 7:59, you can have just an auto attendant saying, hey, this is a mailbox store. We're closed right now. If you want to find the directions, press 1. If you want to find it, if you want to know our working hours, press 2. If it's an emergency, press 3. And it'll call, your cell phone numbers, for instance. Okay, but it can be actually programmed and you can actually program different time frames for different occasions, for the holidays, for days off, for vacations, and so on and so forth. As you can see, we have a lot of those here. Okay, auto attendant. This is something that a lot of people at RSA show were intrigued with, and the reason they are because number one, as I mentioned to you before, there is an MIT research that shows that average small business owner spends 48 minutes a day, what they call on the junk calls. And the reason, 48 minutes a day, it's almost an hour. So you're saving 5 hours a day. I don't know how much your time is worth to you.
A week, yeah.
But to me, it's a lot. Okay, extra five hours a week, for me, it's huge.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure for you guys run a small business. For you, every minute counts. So it might just, this particular feature itself can save you quite a bit of money. Okay. So you can actually create not only auto attendant, you can create as many auto attendants as you want. You can create one auto attendant that goes into another one. Just to give you an example, I know that some of you are doing pictures for passports. So you can create an auto attendant that's saying, welcome to mailbox store. If you speak Spanish, press 1. If you speak English, press 2. If you want to find out about the status of your passport, let's say, press 3, and we can actually transfer them to State Department. If you want to find out yeah, if you want to find out about the status of your FedEx package, press 2. You can transfer them to a hotline for FedEx or UPS. And or if you want to speak to a live person, if you have a concern or if you have an emergency, press 1. No telemarketers, no robocalls are not going to go through this. It's impossible for them. So the only, not even mentioning the fact that if you set it up and it says, hey, and people are calling you all day long asking you, hey, where are you located? You can put the directions how to get to your store on the auto attendant. All they have to do just press 3. You will give them it'll give them all the information you need. So it cuts the amount of time you spend for the calls that are really not bringing you any money, and that's what's important.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can do, you can wait on the customers at the same time and not to be bothered with that. So you can, but the truth of the matter is, if it was an important call, if they left you a message or they went through the auto attendant, and if you want to follow up with those customers, you can always go to the reports and see exactly who called you, what number it was, and you can call them back if you want to. And I'll show you that a little bit later. Okay? So ring groups. You can have one phone rings for a certain thing, or you can have all the phones ringing at the same time, or you can have one phone ringing rings one phone. If that phone doesn't answer, it'll go to another phone, and from there it'll go to another phone, and so on and so forth. Holidays. You go into the system once a year and you set up holidays, and that will become your part of your time frame. So your time frame will know how to work during the holidays. Okay, it will actually. We also have a feature called call recordings. A lot of our customers are using that. You can record all the incoming or outgoing calls. It's up to you.
Oh, really? Does it have to be
this is the only feature
though, to the customer, like this call is being recorded, or it just records?
That's up to you. That's up to you if you want to disclose it. Yeah,
depending on the state law or whatever.
Yeah, it's up to you whether you want to do it or not. As I mentioned to you before, this is the only feature. This is the only feature that we charge for. This is the only feature that we charge for. Yeah, it's $5 extra per line. So
got it.
So we actually keep it here for 5 days. You can go into the server, into this service, and you can actually go ahead and download. Back it up to your computer. So
got it.
If you want to listen to it and destroy it, it's going to be up to you at that point. Hold music, that's the place where we're actually going, and you can actually go ahead and create the whole music in here, add tracks, and so on and so forth.
Right.
The other thing that I wanted to actually, it's kind of cool. It's actually presented to you. I know that this is one of the features that customers get charged extra all the time. We're giving it to you. It's called Listen Live. So basically, let's say you have 3-4 extensions and 2 people are actually talking on the phone. You're sitting back in your office and you wanna hear how your employees are actually trying to close the customer to come to your store. Let's say you're running a special, people are calling about the special. You can actually log into another extension from your system and listen to that conversation live. Okay? On top of that, you can actually log into that extension, listen to that conversation live, and you can budge in on a call and tell your sales rep exactly how to answer those questions. And the customer will not even hear you. Only your
I got it. Only on one-sided. I got it. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Now, my other question is, if you are listening live, can that be recorded?
No. Yeah. Anything can be recorded. Yeah. Any conversation can be recorded.
For instance, if you were listening live and you wanted to use it as a training tool in private with that person later, you'd be able to record it so you could give them some direction?
Oh, absolutely. If you have that option, call recording, and that's the only option that we're actually charging for, you can. If you have that call recording option, any conversation can be recorded. Absolutely.
That's interesting.
Any conversation.
That's a good training tool.
And that's what and that's one of the things that I don't know if any of you guys do business to business. I do know a few RSA members that are actually doing quite a bit business to business. To them, it was invaluable. We actually talked extensively about that. They actually ordered that particular feature because not only the owner, but he also has 2 salespeople, and he's going through those salespeople quite a bit. He feels like he's not. And actually, I knew the guy from 11 years ago, and we were having this conversation. I told him that's the feature that we have in our system, and I was also telling him that when I started in sales, it was in 1995, and I was working for Sprint. Back then, they didn't have tools like that. They couldn't record the person, but they could not budge in on a call. So basically what they would do, they would sit behind us and whisper in our ear what to say to our customer. But that was the best training you can possibly imagine, because you do that for half a day and all of a sudden it becomes automatic for you. You know exactly what to say, how to say it, how to close the customer, and so on and so forth. Okay? So the last one, but not least, call blocking. You can block any call. It's either inbound or outbound. You can actually go ahead and go into this number that you just blocked and write the reason for it. Let's say it's a telemarket calls. So no calls are going to be coming to you. That's another feature that will actually will allow you to not to take those crazy calls that are coming to you. Because many times it's the same company that is dialing your number on a daily basis.
Correct.
So
yeah.
So that's what it is. So this is I went through some of the features and functionalities. There's more of them. This is our accounting portal. And by the way, every one of the users in your store can have that portal in any shape or form. It goes into settings. Let's say you want every one of your guys to have access to voicemail. They will have access only to voicemail, and all those buttons are going to be blocked from them. We can just customize it for them. And only the administrator, yourself, or maybe you have an IT person, will have all of it available to them. If you have an accounting person, let's say somewhere on the site, they will be able to log in, and the only thing that they're going to see is accounting. Every single transaction that was done while you're with us is going to be here. You will be able to go to any details for any bill for any month. Very simple. This is my favorite one, to be honest with you. I'm a numbers guy. I read stuff. I analyze, and our CEO is actually the same way. And to me, this tool, I consider this tool to be the most valuable tool in any business. So basically, this is a reporting tool. Every single call that's coming in or coming out is recorded. It'll record how long the call was, what extension to answer that call, how they answer it. You can see there is a queue performance. Queue performance. You can actually go ahead and see how many people were in the queues. Agents performance. If one of your guys from certain extension answered, how long they were on the phone, what they were doing there. Call activity. Answer abandon reports, very important reports. What if you have people that are standing on hold and somebody hangs up in 3 minutes? You need to do something. Maybe you need to add another person. Maybe you need to, it'll give you all those numbers. But what I like, what the majority of the RSA members are using this particular tool for is for marketing. You can determine the RA on your marketing very easily. Let's say you're running at $10 off shipping, and I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know, but and you put the number. You went ahead and assigned specific marketing number. I mean, by the way, to have an extra number on your system will cost you. On the whole system. You can have as many numbers if you want. You can have one number, only one number, and that's it. And that's the number. But let's say you decided to assign a specific marketing number. So you can actually go ahead and let's say those are outgoing calls, but you want to find out how many calls actually came to you. From January, let's say January, I'll go with January 1st to January 15th, because on that particular, on those particular days, we're running some kind of ad somewhere, whether it was social media or a newspaper or whatever you guys decide to do with that, and you want to know how many calls came in. So all you have to do is just basically search it on those days. In a second, it will give you how many calls came in. Each call is going to be stamped. You will know exactly how many calls. Okay, the internet is a little slow. Okay, but on top of that, not only it's going to do that, but on top of that, you can actually, what is going on here? Just slow down the internet. Oh, here we go. So you see that you got 574 calls right here. Okay, but you're saying, okay, that's nice, but how many a day? Good question. All you have to do is just click the activity graph. It'll break it down for you by day, how many calls you received. So you can see clearly whether you need to keep it going, you need to abandon that particular marketing strategy and allocate your money somewhere else in some kind of other marketing that was working better for you, or you can determine how many calls you got and how much money you spend on it, whether it's worth it for you or not. Let's say, for instance, I'm just throwing it out there. You received 450 calls within 2 weeks, but only 10 customers came in from those calls. Well, obviously you're having an internal problem because your guys that are answering the phone, they're not closing enough business for them to come in on that. So maybe you need that listen and drop feature to train them on that, so they can actually close more people coming in. So those are actually different things that actually can help you within your business tremendously, obviously. So settings, that's something that I already talked about. You can go into settings and design your portal any way you want to. You can assign just the accounting button to the accounting. You can assign voicemails to your employees so they can go there and manage their voicemails. You can do all of it. And that's pretty much, this is the basically submit a request page. You can go in here, you can read about the phones, as you can see in here, and how to set them up, and so on and so forth. So we have that resource as well. So that's the things that I wanted to talk to you about real fast. The other thing that I wanted to bring up, just go ahead and do that real fast. So this is the schedule for distributors. So let's talk about that. Basically, what we're looking for people who can actually go ahead and sell their service in their stores.
I'm sorry, I dropped the phone.
Oh, no, not a problem. If you're looking business to business, if you're looking to doing business to business, you have a better chances to close bigger accounts and so on and so forth. If you don't have, you can actually sell them. We have a lot of customers that are actually selling them resale. They bought a little thing for $40 on eBay where they actually put the phone. They ordered another extension for that phone so the customer can actually come in and make a call on that phone, believe it or not. And some of them are actually asking the customers, do you have voice over IP in your system? And they give them a flyer, what it can be done, and so on and so forth. So this is the schedule. Those are the phones. We have more phones, but those are the most common phones that we see selling quite a bit. This one is actually a cordless phone that you can take in your office. This is a little bit fancier phone. The phone that actually you can see like 16 extensions on it. Usually this type of phones are used by receptionists. And this is a good, solid a phone for any office that you can answer. It is basically a workhorse. That's the phone that is used widely. And this is your particular schedule, let's say your price. And we actually make a suggested retail price, but it's not so that you set in stone. You can increase it, you can decrease it. We just made up the number. We go with what the market actually requires, but in different areas. For instance, just to give you an example, I have a distributor in New York City. He's got two offices. He's actually a mailing store, and he's got two offices, one in Brooklyn, one in Staten Island. Okay, he sells our service for $40 per phone, per seat, what we call a seat.
Per seat,
okay?
Right.
Yeah, he created a very easy program. He said it's a $40 per seat. I'm giving you a free phone. He signs the contract for 36 months. So, and his price on that is $27. He sells it for $40. We're offering it. I mean, our suggested retail is $31 here, so you're making only $5, but it's every single month just for one seat.
Correct.
He charges $40, so he makes $13 on that particular seat. So in the big cities like like Boston, New York City, Chicago, AT&T and Comcast, they're charging up to $65 per phone. They're giving you one line and call waiting, and maybe voicemail if you're lucky.
No auto attendance.
We're giving you all of this for literally half the price. So when he actually going out there and selling this program for $40 per seat, in New York City, it's a huge deal. With all the competition that they have on there, there's plenty of people that are on their local telephone company and they're paying those crazy prices. So for him, to him, it's no brainer. every customer actually has their own pricing set in their area. They see what's offered by their local telephone company. I can assure you that other voice over IP companies are not going to be your competition. Who is going to be your competition is your local telephone companies, because as of right now, this is $4.5 billion a year industry. By 2022, it's going to be $18 billion industry. So we're not going anywhere. We're actually growing like crazy. And the reason we're growing is those local telephone companies. They have a bulky systems. They have PBX rooms where they have to go, and you have to call them, and they'll charge you $150 to come in, either to fix the system or maybe, or add an extension or something like that. Here, you don't have to do anything. You have to go on the internet or call us. We will go with you while you're on the phone, and we'll change it for you within about 3 seconds. Very simple. So
the hardware will be, in between, like, so it works with our modem or router, existing router from a broadband company? Just connect it and then connect it to that. Okay, I got it. Okay.
Yeah, you can actually go ahead and get yourself a router or a switch if you think that you don't have enough in a router. Yeah, and basically the way it works, the way this particular phone is connected is amazing. It comes to you in a box. We already provisioned it for you because we know your layout. There's certain paperwork that you have to fill out. The wire, the Cat5 wire that goes into your computer, you unplug it from your computer. You plug it into this phone. We also send you the same Cat5 wire, a smaller one. And from that phone, there is another nest in there. It's called PC. You plug that short cord into that PC and back into your computer. So now it's a bypass. It bypassed through your phone, but that's what the phone is feeding from the internet. Okay, you don't have a
separate one for fax, or we can use the same one for the fax as well.
Well, there is an option which I'm not a big fan of. It's called ATA. Okay, basically, it's a little box that you can set up the same way with your fax machine. But we don't recommend that because it doesn't always work perfectly. However, eFax is the way to go, and I think for you guys,
exactly. Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
eFax is the way to go. It's easy. It's a profit center that cannot be beat. If right now you're paying, let's say, okay, you said $30. Fantastic. You're paying $30 with taxes. Let's say you pay about $35 to $37 for that line. So we are charging $20 for eFax. We're giving you 250 free pages a month. After that, it's $5 per page. So either way you look at it, it's a huge profit center to you. I mean, even if you went over this 250 pages and you're paying $5 per page, it's still, I mean, you're charging $1 per page right now. And the customer, in many cases, doesn't even have to come into your store. They can just give you a credit card for that 3-page fax over the phone, and you can actually go ahead and send it to them. And when you receive the fax back, you can email the confirmation, or if you receive the fax for them, you can email it back to their house, to their email address.
Got it. Yeah. So it's $20 a month separately for the eFax line to have?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's $20 a month. You get 250 pages with that. Anything over 250 pages is 5 cents per page.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
5 cents. No, it's 5 cents. 5 cents per page.
I got it.
That's how it's set up. So, in my opinion, this is the best way to go. So, let's say it's broken down by the contract, how much it would cost you. So, many times you will find the customers that already have voice over IP systems. All we have to do is just take their phones and reprovision them. We do it over the phone or over the internet. We just log into the phone and do it. Okay. So in this cases, you can go with this cost no phone. Or if they decide that they want to buy a phone, many customers are buying the phones. Many customers. As a matter of fact, the majority of our competition in our space, they're not even providing free phones. You have to buy the phone. So this is your cost, and that's how much you're charging if the customer doesn't want a phone. But let's say they want the phone. This is your cost, and this is how much you can charge them, or you can charge them more. The customer that I was telling you about from Brooklyn, he made it very simple for him. All his contracts are 36 months. His cost is $27. He gives them free phone, and he charges them $40 a month. Period. Bottom line. There is no more taxes in there.
Correct. Yeah.
Because you don't have to. Whatever we're offering to you, there is no more taxes now. So this is a list of features and functionalities in there, and that's not all of them. But this is something that we actually went through today as well.
So okay, a cost being for a new customer, they pay the monthly contracted price. What happens to the number porting fee of $25? You guys keep it, or
we actually paying it to your? We're actually paying it to your carrier. We charge you for that, but because we have
I guess a pass through.
It's one time. Yeah, it's one time.
One time, but and the same thing for the vanity toll-free number if they want it.
No, vanity. For vanities, they're charging us more. We're charging you more. It's $50 for vanity if it's a vanity number. Again, it's one-time fee, and you're just passing it all to a customer. Yeah, I got to tell you that I haven't seen too.
Oh no.
I've been doing it on a day-to-day basis. People know about it. They do it with any problems, no whatsoever. So I mean, I've never had to. When I sold it to a customer, they never even asked me to waive it or anything like that. Because they know it's a little different in this system than it is for wireless or something like that. Those guys are making so much money, they don't even care about that. Okay, and they have so much influence. So, so that's pretty much the other thing that I wanted to. We have deals for RSA members. So there's three criteria to become our distributors. Number one is you got to be a customer. You can't sell this service without having this service in your own business. You just can't. Okay. Number two, you have to go through the training with us.
Okay.
We have to train you at least. You have two choices. You can actually go ahead and refer the customer to us. We will sell them at your price. We will set them up. We will build a customer. You don't have to do anything, okay? Or if you are a little bit, you like control a little bit more, and maybe you listen to those invitations a little bit more, you can sell the customer, pass them on to us. You will have access to that portal that I showed you from the back door of it. We will set up an account with you. You will see how many customers are built, you will be able to create a proposal in there. You will be able to do whatever you need to do as per se a sales rep. Okay?
Right.
You can print it out in your office, give the proposal to a customer, then when the customer sign all the paperwork, you send it back to us, you go there and activate it as the norm, and then you go and look at all your customers that you have, how much you're getting paid, and so on and so forth. All of it is going to be there. Okay? So,
and
hold on for just a second. Just 1 second. A couple of more things that I think I missed. So this is some of our customers, as I mentioned to you before, and I show it to you. This is just some of them. You can actually see more on our website. And even on the website is not all of them, believe me. There's more customers coming every day. What's particular about those particular customers, they're all multi-locations. We work with multi-locations. We work, so H&R Block is a huge business for us, but all of them are small offices. Some people have 10 offices, some people have only one. But they're all small offices, and that's what we're concentrating on. That's what we do. This is just a monthly residual at our SRP that we suggested for you, which is suggested retail price. So if you got 100 seats for $5, you're getting $500 a month. That's one something after month. And don't forget, you're still selling, so you're still adding. You get to 500 seats, you're getting $2,500 a month. Now, again, that's at $5 mark. You mark it up $5. In your area, you might try to mark it up $10. I don't know, $13, depending where you're located. So, and that just gives you an example, obviously. So, just any kind of questions you guys have besides what we discussed today.
Any international calling option?
There is an option. We can send you the rates on that. Rates are very, very, very compatible. You have unlimited calling within the United States and Canada, and that's what's going to be the majority of your customers. I can assure you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
There's obviously some instances when you're going to need some international rates, but we can provide them for you. It's not a big deal.
Oh yeah, no big deal. Okay, and so our rate.
This is one of the deals.
With $27. I mean, I don't have the screen. Okay, I got it. Okay. All right.
I actually wanted to.
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Do you have what am I trying to think? A PowerPoint presentation of this that you could send me?
Yeah.
Okay, if you would.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please do that so that I can look at this a little more closely. Yeah. I've had some distractions while this was going on, and I think this might be something we'd be interested in.
Oh, no, definitely. So I would like that too, yeah.
Okay. This is actually the offer for the members. We are giving you a free RSA membership, so it's costing you $25 a month right now. It's a premium membership, obviously. So it's right now for 2 phones, it's $75. All the taxes are included, all the features and functionalities, and we're still, we were actually running. We understand that we were not able to get to everybody last month, but we wanted to. So I am actually talking to the owner of the company right now to provide you with the same offer, which means free hardware for you. And I understand that each business can be have different needs. Some of you will need a lot of actually stores like yours actually ask for cordless phones like this one. So it can vary from one office to another, and we can talk about that. That's not going to be a problem. But this particular special for RSA members, we're running until the end of this month.
Okay.
So it'll be, besides the RSA premium, which is good saving, so for 2 lines, how much we'll be paying? Like, because we have 1 main and 2 separate lines. I mean,
first of all, it's going to be 4. So it's going to be 4 lines.
4, yeah, exactly. Okay. 2 and 2, correct. Yeah.
So between 2 phones, it's going to be 4 lines for you. In some cases, it's going to be 5 lines if you want one of the phones to be cordless, because cordless phones actually it's a little bit different technology, a little bit different setup there.
Okay.
The worst case scenario,
so there are normal corded
phones.
Yeah. 4 lines.
With the phones, we will give it to you for $75 a month. That's all included. Well, let me correct myself. It's going to be $79.65. The reason I'm saying that, including all the taxes, we do charge you $1.65 per phone number, okay? And we have to. It's a FCC regulation. Nothing we can do about it. We have to charge you $3 a month for E911.
Correct.
Which means that you can dial 911 from your phone and hang up the phone, and police will know where to go. That's a FCC regulation. Nothing.
4 lines, including 2 phones.
Correct.
Corded phones. I got it. And this will be for us as a distributor or reseller type deal. So we'll be again signing for a 36 months program. I mean, of course, we'll be in the contract as well.
Yeah. Well, yes, because we're giving you the phones. Obviously, we have to recoup that cost. I mentioned it to you, and we're providing you with a free membership. You don't have to worry about it. You are becoming our customer. The membership is paid. You're not even thinking about it. So that's it. Every single month we have our own. Yeah. So with a customer, you have an option of 12 months contract, 24 months contract, 36 months contract, just like you see on the screen. The pricing is a little bit different, cost with no phone versus the cost with the phone to you. And suggested retail price, you can set up your own if you want to, or go with ours. So, but
are there any restrictions on what types of phones can be used?
Put it this way. We have different type of phones. This is the most common phone that we're giving for free. This is as I mentioned to you before, a workhorse of all phones. It works. That's
which,
what I'm
which one
talking
is that? Because I'm not on the screen.
It's a
right
Yelling
now,
T23. Yeah, it's Yelling T23. I'll send you this flyer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Yelling T23. Okay.
Got it.
And this is the free phone that we're giving. In some cases, we are giving, we're also giving right now the cordless phones. Okay, that might be one of the phones that we can discuss as well. Now, there are fancier phones that can go $229 and up. There are some phones that are $400. And believe me, if you walk into a lawyer's office and they have a receptionist and she's got that big, huge phone in there, that's what they're going to want. Right, and they don't care about that. I mean, they'll take all the free phones you can possibly imagine, but there are certain phones we just can't give it to you for free, and they will pay for it. If it's only one or two phones,
no, absolutely,
they will pay
for it.
Yeah.
Now, how do you take care of our dedicated fax line we have now? Say we get this 2-4-line feature, but they're all voice over IP telephone lines. But so we just go by the eFax option.
Yeah.
Or can we use one of the lines as a
there's
fax?
two options. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. There's two options. One option I'm not a big fan of because sometimes
just the ATA box, you put it there.
Yeah, ATA box, right.
Yeah.
Second, eFax never fails. It's a perfect. It's easy. If the customer comes in, you scan his documents. He doesn't even know that you're not sending the fax. It goes straight into your computer. He gives you the phone number. You actually put it.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you put it in the email, and the email is going to be like this. Well, let's say the customer tells you their fax number is 913-485-1707. So where you're actually creating an attachment in your email and sending it to 913-485-1707 at pcsfax.com.
Oh, I got it. So
on the other hand,
from there, on the other hand,
on the other end, it will come out of the fax machine, just a regular fax machine. It's converted here, yes. But it'll come out as a fax, just regular fax.
I got it.
The same thing if they're sending it to you. You have an assigned, so they're dialing just a regular number, 913-485-1707 on their fax machine. It goes to our service.
I have got to depart. I have a major problem going on.
Not a problem.
With one of my systems just went down, but please send that to me.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
All right, Mary, take care.
Take care. So basically, it'll come to you, so they will go ahead and dial just like they usually do, but it will come to you as an attachment in your email.
Oh, yeah, then we can print it, save it, delete it, whatever we need to do with it.
You can either print it, or you can send it back to the customer, to their email.
Oh, yeah.
Either way.
Will that be
that's
now,
actually extra
in
service.
addition, so to have that option for eFax, so can it be incorporated with these 4 telephone numbers, or that'll be additional $20 for us to find?
It is additional $20. It's always it's additional $20.
I got it.
It's cheaper than a regular line for you.
No, definitely,
obviously.
Definitely.
Yeah, but it's actually, to be honest with you, this eFax is actually a revenue generator, and it's much safer than a landline fax.
Oh, and of course, we make money. We charge them $1. If some fax comes for them, we charge them about $1 a page. So that's the reason I have it on a dedicated line, because of course it's personal use. We hardly get any fax for our businesses. It's just for customers.
It actually the other thing is you also receive the confirmation that the fax was received. Also in the email.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So you can send them a confirmation and their fax via email to their email address. They don't even have to leave the house to send that fax if they don't want to. And that's how you can advertise too.
Yeah. Now, in terms of what do you call it? When we call 411 for information, somebody calls. Now, of course, our cable region, local company deals with that. They get the information. Okay, shipping hub, I need their number. They call 411. Now, how will it be any different though if we move all the 3 lines or 4 lines to York for PCS voice over IP?
No. If you want to pay, we charge you $15 one-time fee for 411. $15 one-time fee to get you on 411, and that's it. Okay. You don't pay monthly. You don't.
Looking. Okay, they'll get. Okay. That was I mean. Okay.
Yeah, we charge you $15 fee one time for 411, and you're in the system at that point. Now, because we're paying for it, obviously, to get you in the system. And that's it. If you don't want to be in the 411, to be honest with you, this is the first one for as long as I've been doing that. This is actually the first person to actually ask me about 411. We have that option, but for some reason, I never even sold it. Nobody wanted it. So, because
everything is online.
I mean, everybody's
Google it.
Everybody's looking for Google. Yeah. Correct. Everybody's saying, okay, am I going to be on the Google? Well, I have no control over that one. We're not changing your numbers. If you have numbers on the Google, they're already there. So.
Oh, yeah. I probably dialed not even 3 times the whole year for looking for a 411. It's just, okay. Well, I know that used to be a concern a few years ago. But no, I get it. It's just something which
I got it.
Okay, cool.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead. I am actually recording our conversation, and it's just a presentation, obviously. So I'm going to go ahead and send you the links. I'm going to upload it on YouTube, and I'm going to send you guys the links. Yeah. So you will have it there. Let's talk. I will go ahead and present you guys all, whoever was on the webinar today, with the ability to, with proposal for your business.
Right.
And we'll go from there.
Okay. No, sounds great. No, so definitely, something we can look
and
into.
we'll go from there.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds wonderful.
Can you still see my screen by any chance?
Oh, actually, I'm not on my laptop, but I would
You're not
log in.
on the phone.
To go to meeting, it just cut me off. I'm just only audio right now. So,
okay.
But yeah,
not a problem. For some reason, it seems to me like it's, it cut me off too, and I don't know why.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I know.
So I started checking on it, and all of a sudden I don't see it anymore. So, but anyways, Raj, listen, I appreciate your time. Is there anybody else on the call? Yeah. Is there anybody else on the call that has any questions?
I'm set.
Okay. Listen, I appreciate your time. If you need anything, don't hesitate to give me a call anytime, all right? And you'll have all my information. I'll send it to you right away, okay? Thanks.
Okay, great. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care.